Henshin!
I hope you enjoyed that replay video I just attached at the beginning of the video. Replay video at the beginning of the this video. But yeah, this is DCRS and I'm here today to discuss about Tellarknights. Yes, Tellarknights. They won Worlds. Congratulations. Except now they're gonna get hit pretty hard. Anything that comes off Worlds pretty much get hit pretty hard. But yeah. As I want to discuss, Tellarknights. The main back row heavy deck that has pretty much a Solemn Judgment, at least 4 Solemn Judgments. And yeah, you can't activate it if you have D-Fissure or Macron field or something like that because it has to be sent to graveyard as a cost. But yeah, let's see, Tellarknights. They're a deck that mainly revolves around looping. I guess you could say the deck is a main loop type of deck. Konami hates type of loops, but at least it's once a turn which you have to survive with. So it's not too bad, I guess you could say. At least not the whole entire turn to loop. But yeah, I want to point out some things about Tellarknights that maybe might get hit, maybe not get hit. But anyway. Uniglide, not really much of a threat in a way of the tournament. Standard type of plays in a way, whatever I'm trying to talk about. But yeah, Nuclei is not really much of a threat because it's mainly used to either send Deneb mostly, or Vega, or rarely, in this case, Altair, unless you got Call Haunted set or something like that. Then you would play you would then send Altair to the grave. But Altair is one of the few cards that starts the loop in a way. Not really much of a loop, but it's how the combo starts in a way. If you have Deneb in the grave, you summon Altair, special summon Deneb, and yeah, you pretty much, if you play Tellarknights long enough, in this case, 1-2 times or something like that, you would understand how the deck works. But in a way, I think Altair is one of those cards that doesn't need to get hit in a way, because the card, yes, a lot of people say yes, it starts loops in this case, but in this case, what card is the most that people are afraid of is Trigger. Trigger is one that creates loops, and that's why it's at 2. Or in this case, people play at 2. Well, it's not at 2, it's at 3, but people don't really play 3, they mostly play 2. Trigger is the one card that everyone's afraid of. Is it ban worthy? I don't think so, because one, it gets your Tellarknight players going from the grave, I guess you could say. Also, it's not really that hard to get rid of. Yes, you could like Effect Veil or Phoenix Chain or Breakthrough Skill, whatever that is, just to get rid of a Trigger. But if you think this guy's ban worthy, I don't think that's true. You can only use the well, it's not that difficult to summon another Driver, but if you have two Drivers play at the same time, yeah, that's not exactly good because Driver can create a loop, and that's why people call it the Driver loop. And that's why I think Driver, I don't think it's worth banned. I think it's worth being at least limited. I think limited is the main thing. Banning cards like you create plays that are not healthy for the game. But Driver's, it's somewhat healthy for the game because one, it leaves your field, it leaves your, oh, actually, it leaves the whole entire field wide open. Also, your opponent pretty much needs a way to get around this, and it's not that hard to get around. If it's got 2100 attack, and not many decks nowadays run cards that are less than 21. Mostly around, or they would just Xyz and just get rid of it, like using Castell or something like that, just to get over it. Also, if you play Shadow, you just summon Window just to poke over it. But yeah, Trigger's not really much of a threat. I think it's at least worthy of being limited, not semi-limited. Semi-limited wouldn't really make a difference because people will only play 2 Triggers in the first place. Deltros, that card hasn't seen no play whatsoever. If this guy gets hit whatsoever, I am kind of shocked because you don't summon Deltros that often in Tellarknights. You mostly just summon Trigger. Trigger's the main card. And also when it comes to the Cyber Dragon Nova plays, Snell Diamond's pretty much going to be in there with the Tellarknights because that's play Tellarknight. That's one of the main cards you would use in any rank 4 deck. Pretty much is abusable in a deck, and this card use it to overlay on top of it. But yeah, I'll tell you, I think it's best left at least, well, if it's going to get hit, I believe it should be hit to 2. 1 is like killing it, but then again, last year Inferno Ice Fiend got limited, but that card was broken. I mean, it has no limitations. Yes, if you draw into it and you get a Laval Chain play, and yeah, that creates degenerate play, so it's unhealthy. But I'll tell you, it's a once per turn effect. I mean, come on. Ban worthy or limit worthy? You have enough trouble as it is. If you have trouble getting rid of 1 Altair, that's like saying it's almost like saying think of your deck that plays 3 of a card, that I don't know, 3 of 1 card. Let's say in your sand use, you pretty much limit let's say Karma 3 or Karma 1, or in this case Shadows, you limit what's a good example? Limit Falcon? No, some people only run 1 to 2. Let's say both Shadow Fusion, L Shadow Fusion and Shadow Fusion go to 1. Deck's unplayable. Altair is the one card that makes plays more playable. In this case, more playable. It pretty much starts the Tellarknight combo. Pretty much, if Altair goes to at least 2 or 1, that pretty much is desperation. You're pretty much desperate enough to kill Tellarknights. Yes, I suppose it creates loops and stuff, but that's how the deck runs. You can't really blame the deck for its own plays, I guess you could say. It's like saying volcanics have no shell or something like that. You're pretty much saying, oh, ban shell, or in this case, ban I don't know, something like that. Some other time. It's pretty much just saying you want cards that don't affect playability, and pretty much you're saying no, your deck can't run, my deck can run better. But if your deck got hit, and you're gonna say, oh, I'm upset, my deck got hit. But yeah, Tellarknights, Altair does not need to get hit at all, because this card creates plays. It does not create a loop. Yes, of course you could summon Deneb and stuff from the graveyard, but in a way, Deneb, I think, needs to go at least limit or semi-limited. But then again, if you Rhapsody it, it pretty much makes it so your plays aren't exactly playable. But and you only can use the effect of Deneb once anyway, and you can call Heart to the back during your opponent's turn, I suppose. But Deneb, you can only use it once a turn anyway, and 2, I see it possible, but 3, more salt for the people who cry. But yeah, Vega. This card, people play 2, or in this case, play 1. At 2, it's okay, I suppose. You don't really want to draw it. If this card gets limited, I wouldn't mind it because you only need 1 Vega in the first place. And Vega, that creates a. If you think that doesn't create loops, this card creates more loops than you would imagine. Because Vega starts everything. It summons from the hand. It summons, let's say, you have a alternate hand. Summon this, summon Altair, then summon Deneb from the graveyard. Vega is the one that starts the free rank 4 free material things in the first place. Vega is the one card you probably want to get at least limited. Semi-limited, I'd see it possible, but limit. No one even runs free in the first place. Why would you run free Vega in the first place? But anyway, Reinforcement Army. As I said before, this card helps all types of warrior decks. Heroes, you can still run free musicals, and Overknights kind of need this in a way, so I don't think this card would, and all other warrior decks that are coming out like Ignites and stuff like that, I don't think they're going to hit that yet, but there's a possibility. Rhoda might go to 1 or 2, depending. I think 2 is a reasonable amount, but 3 is like, you have less more ways to actually combo from the deck. Also, Alpha. This card is a solemn judgment for Tellarknights. Well, as you know, I've already said it in the first place. Alpha is the one card that everyone's afraid of. Pretty much like, or in this case, you want to bait out the most, because Alpha is the one card that is really troublesome to deal with, because the Tellarknight player can activate this anytime they want. That seems troublesome for them. I believe maybe Alpha should go to at least 1 or 2. 1 I see possible. 2 could happen, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not too sure how they're going to affect it though. Affect Tellarknights, because Tellarknights is like a deck that's already got its restrictions, and all the other cards that got hit pretty much don't have a proper restriction. Then again, Baronic's not true now, but that card's just broken. Maybe Deneb could go to 2, similar to Bionic. I don't see any. There's a downside to actually going to 2, or maybe upside, depending. But Deneb to 2, I think it's possible. But yeah, as I said, Triver's the one card that everyone hates. At least limited, but if it's banned, that's like desperate. You pretty much want Tellarknights to be pretty much slow as hell, because Triver is the one that makes the looping combo in the first place. So Triver to 1, I believe that's the reasonable hit. But yeah, that's my thought on it. But yeah, Tellarknights are at most, pretty much everyone hates them in a way for their easy combos and stuff like that, but they're already restricted to their plays as it is. It's like it's like saying you want Shadow Mist to get its effect all the time when it's summoned. Like, it's not a once per turn, well in this case a once per turn type of effect, but it's not limited to once during that turn. It's like you're saying that, because Triver can activate more than once, so a turn if you can get both of them off. Because it says right here that, if you can see, once it's XZ summoned, you can send everything back to the hand. So at 2, I don't think it's that good. It's not healthy for Tellarknights. It's abusable. But Trevor, yeah, I think it should go to at least limited. This guy creates so many busted plays with looping. But yeah, that's my thought of Tellarknights. Also, if once you get rid of Trevor, it's more easy to get around afterwards. Sure, they have plenty of other XYZs, but if you get rid of the one Trevor, they don't have to worry about anything ever again, unless they recycle it with, I don't know, Dagas or Emerald, or what was the other one? Sirius. Unless they use Sirius to recycle it. But other than that, it takes a lot of hard work just to get around. And also, you have to exceed something just to get into this and just to recycle it. It's a lot of hard work with one, as it is. Two is like, okay, it's easy, but one is like, I think one is the reasonable amount for Trevor. But anyway, this is DCRS, and I hope you guys enjoy my discussion video of Tellarknights, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Derive! Type! Speed!